All right, we're back with the next faction. This is State of Runeterra. Um, Unlike the rest of the factions, their champion pool is massive. They had 15 Zonites. They've only printed three, I think, or four. I think it's considered four because Victor's on the bottom and Zon, even though right now in Arcane he's on the top part. So, like, they have printed almost no Zonites, and there's still 10 left. 10. And you still have Camille and Oriana on top, so, in Piltover. So, they're like, there's only two factions, maybe three, if you consider Ixtal, that have no need for this per se. But also, they don't have that many choices in general. Like, two of them, in my opinion, not named that, but we called them that, or they call themselves that. So they don't really have. They are blessed with the not having to worry about this, I think, ever. Because by the time we get through all their champions, they'll already be printing other champions for other sets, and they can just follow suit because they have the most left by at least, I would say, probably like they're five over. So, so what I'm gonna say about this, even though there's not a need, and I didn't even write all the Zonites down per se, just because I didn't want to deal with the speculation of it, even though I've thought of a funny one that might be funny. Because Vi's already printed, so I had her in mind for right after set and all this, but she's already printed. So I think if they're going to print somebody, it's somebody that kind of has a boxing theme. And Blitzcrank does have a boxing skin, and it would be funny to see him box with the rest of them. But that's also a dream because I love me some Blitzcrank, and I doubt I will see Urgot or Warwick anytime soon first from Piltover for some reason. I I feel like if I was going to guess on a champion, I would actually want to see first, since we haven't actually dealt with the casks ever, or, the ooze, as we'll put it. Singed or Silco would be quite more interesting than that. And Silco's not a playable card, but that would be also a fun outlier to see, but a little too obvious, I think, and unnecessary. Maybe the Kimbarans in general would be like a nice to have powerful set of creatures fighting for stuff and have their own stuff, but that's that's for another thought and another time. I'm gonna go through it real. It's gonna be a real fast one. We're calling him Reggie, so he's kind of named by our proxy. So I think Reggie might be one of them. I'm not sure if that would be the case because he's pretty new, but that would be fan created, community created. Like, way to go about it would be pretty right on. They're listening if something like that happened for sure, and we'd take it. So the next one, you know, we do like our printers, and she calls herself Evil K, and she kind of named herself, and you don't even think of her as perfectionist. You think of her kind of like Evil K. So that's pretty fun. I would say probably like the next one on the line is dead per Arcane. So I would say Jay Madarna is no way in hell sort of going to be the guy. I don't think, even though he was a cool follower at the time. Uh, Corinne, I feel like she would be probably the strongest by far to be like, because she's already had 2 cards printed. I'm sure she'll be printed again if they do some sort of puff cap or something like that. Shenanigans again. I'm sure she'll have an interesting spell play type that would be interesting to see, because she's always been. Either card was always good. I think the other card's still good. It's just we're in Value Town and we don't really want to throw away things. This is kind of how this faction works. It doesn't have to risk anything because it's just going to draw it with formula or all their other card draw. They don't have to risk the biscuit like Feral Yord or other factions might to make it happen, you know what I mean? So I'm looking for one. I don't want to see this, but it's a possibility. It's not something that turns my dial in this, because we already have enough factions that already kind of do this, and I don't want to add another one to it per se. But Professor Von Yip might be the guy, but again, they don't really have to worry about this, because this is probably the strongest faction of not having to have this problem. And I think, Albus, definitely, if he starts showing up, maybe in Arcane Season 2 or something like that, or he already has, I don't remember seeing him, but it's a possibility he was somewhere. So I would love to see probably Corinne or Reggie the most out of that, but I would doubt we'll ever have to have this problem, because they have so many champions that they still have to deal with, and they're barely, I would say, probably about 50% through their champion pool. I don't think it's going to be ever a thing, but we'll find out. If you have any thoughts or comments or something you would like to see, let me know. Leave a comment and we'll talk about it. See you next time.